Una mattina mi son svegliata, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una...
Good afternoon everyone, my name is Simon and today I'm going to teach all of you that don't know how to play Italian card games. Now we're going to start with one of the most commonly played games around, which is called Briscola. And well, first of all you need a pack of Italian cards, and you get a pack like that. This is a napoletane pack. You can pick them up locally in Perth for you guys here. You can pick them up in continental delis for around about $5 each. Some stores will have them, not really sold everywhere, not that common, but you can find them. Anyway, I think I'll just show you exactly what cards look like first before we start, because they're very different to the French cards that most people play with around the world. They are divided into 4 suits like the French set. They are the swords or the spade, the cups or the coppe, the bastone or the clubs, and the denari or the sons. So those are the 4 suits. You've got denari, bastone, coppe, and spade. Okay. Now, unlike the French cards, they don't go, there's only 10 in each suit. So they go from 1 up to the king. I'll show you what those suits are. The jack is called the fante, that's the jack. The king is called the re. And they don't have a queen. There's this guy, the cavallo, the guy on the horse, the cavallo. There's only 3 face cards. And in Briscola, the fante, the duke, the jack, is worth 2 points. And the cavallo, the guy on the horse, is worth 3 points. And the re, the king, is worth 4 points. Okay. So I'm just going to pop this down and we're going to show you how to play. Alrighty, so there we go, it's perfect. Alright, now to start the game you can play with anywhere from 2 to 4 players. If you have 4 players, they play as partners in 2 teams. Okay, but we're going to start simply, we're just going to have a 2-player game. Okay, first off the start, the players are dealt 3 cards each, face down. And there's a card that's put down at the end face up, that's the trump card, that is the Briscola. Now, this is the Briscola card for this game, which is a bastone. It's a fante bastone, which means that every bastone card now is a Briscola. And the Briscola means basically that card is the top card. So for instance, if I were to put out denari and a Briscola, the other player puts out a Briscola, the Briscola takes it. Only thing with that trick there is that there's no points. Cards that are not 1s or 3s, or the fante, the cavallo or the re, are not points. They're worth nothing. Okay, but you just take them anyway. The cards that are worth points are the fante, the cavallo and the re, and the big points, called the carico, are the aces, the Asso, an ace, which is worth 11 points, and the 3s, the tre, which is worth 10 points. So the 3s are 10 points, and the Asso, the ace, is worth 11 points. Okay, that's the top card. And see how that's Briscola, because that's bastoni? That nothing in the deck can beat that card in this particular game, because the bastoni is the Briscola. That's the biggest card, okay? The second biggest would obviously be the tre, or bastoni, then the king, then the cavallo, and then the fante, okay? And then from down there. Alright, so let's take you through the game. So I've just dealt 3 cards to each player, okay? The player that dealt goes second, so he dealt to the player, they'll go first. And what you'd usually do is you'd want to put down cards that are going to give the opponent no points at the beginning, so they'll enable the other person to go first, because usually you have an advantage like that. You want to make sure you got Briscola. You got a Briscola card in your pack, and you want to take points. Okay, the winner is the first player to get over 60 points. You can play this in 2 ways. You can either play 2 games, and it's basically the first player to reach 120 points or over, or you can play 1 game, and it's the first player to get over 60. If both players draw 60 points, which often happens, it's a draw, play again. And usually it happens best out of 3, okay? So we'll start. All right, this player on my left, on my right, sorry, he's drawn the Re Denari, the Due Bastoni, and the Four Coppe, the Quattro Coppe, okay? The only cards that are really worth anything in this pack, this is worth nothing, okay? But you want to try and get rid of that for no points, okay? This is a Briscola. This can take any card if it's not a Briscola that's valued higher. So that's the lowest Briscola because an ace will take that, okay? But it'd be useless taking the ace with that because you're wasting your ace. You want to take big points with the ace. You want to take another ace, okay? So you can get 22 points. This is worth something. It's worth 4 points, but you might lose that. The only way you're going to win this king back is if you put out the king and the other player had Denari in their hand, which is worth lower than the king, and then you take it, okay? But if the other player were to use this, this would take the king. That would take it. That would lose you 4 points. If I was going first, what I would do is I would actually play, this is my style of playing, I would play the Coppe, okay? So I'd pop that down, and the other player has, he has the Sei Denari, he has the Asso Denari, and he has the Cavallo Bastoni. Now, that's good. He's got a Briscola too. The Coppe has been put down. All right? This will lose. This will lose, and it will lose the player points, and this will also lose the player points. What you do, smartest thing to do, throw down nothing. So the other player will take that, but it is rubbish. It's nothing, and they have to go again. After you play, the player who won the pair picks up first, and the other player picks up a pair, and the other player that won has to go first. The other player has, in their hand now, still got the Due Bastoni, he's got the Due Spade now, and he's still got the king, the Re, okay? What I would do is I would probably throw down rubbish again, Lish. The other player now has picked up a 6 Spade. Now, it's interesting because that will lose and lose you points. That will win, but it's rubbish. But I'd pick it up. I'd rather win rubbish than lose points. So pick that up, pop it on my side there. Now I pick up and the other player picks up. Okay. Okay, now basically picked up another Briscola. The other player has picked up Spade again. He's picked up rubbish. Okay, so this player goes first, and I would throw down again. I would throw down rubbish. I've got nothing there. It's useless. I don't want to lose points at this point. All right, I'll just throw down rubbish there. The other player is in a predicament because this will lose him points. This will win, and this will win, but it's Briscola, and it's wasting a Briscola on useless points. But then again, I'd rather do that than lose 4 points. So you've got to weigh up the options here. The thing about Briscola is that you've got to remember what cards have gone out so that for later on, it enables you to put out cards with confidence, knowing that you might keep them or that you'll be able to win points off them. Okay? Alrighty. Now, as I said earlier, the aim of the game is to win, to get to past 60 points. Okay? If we were to play in partners, you'd have your partners sitting across from you at the table. Okay? So you have like a round table or a square table you're sitting at. And basically, 4 cards we put down. So say that the Denari is the Briscola. Okay? If the players on both sides have got 3 cards each, and say I have, one of the partners has got these 3 cards. So he's got the Tre Denari, he's got the Asso Bastoni, and he's got the Sette Bello. Okay? You've got 2 Briscola there, and you've got one really big Briscola. That's going to mean that if the other players haven't really got any other big Briscola, or have got other high points that aren't Briscola, you're going to take a lot of points. So what I would do, because you're basically getting 4 cards at a time taken in each trick. Okay, so if I had this, I would chuck down this first, I would chuck down this. Okay? I would then get my partner to chuck down the biggest points they have, which would be that A. If the